Hey, it's Spence from LaunchFlows.com. I've got a great question from Andrew about how to do a modal window upsell offer. And you can use this for bumps or downsells or cross-sells as well using LaunchFlows. Now, he's seen an example from another product that is on I think this is a Shopify feature from another developer. Easy to do with LaunchFlows. So the basic concept is, depending on whichever page builder you're using, you may already have a modal window pop-up that allows you to place the upsell or the order bump component inside of it. Here, I'm actually going to use a free Gutenberg block one called Modal Guten Block. Sounds like a candy bar I would give my kids. It's new. It's 3 days ago. I don't know. It's got some attraction already. I love it because it's just an example of how simple, free, and easy things can be when you're working with the native components of WooCommerce, the native Gutenberg, and so forth. But feel free to use Elementor, Divi, Beaver Builder, your own pop-up. Who cares? Next is I went ahead and I have a product or two created. So to set this up, I made two products. One product I made was the one that's going to be, let's say, in the cart, so my fitness product, and then the next would be my second one, the one that's being offered. And the reason you need this is because we need to use the ID of the product in the upsell component of LaunchFlows or in the order bump. So it's number 54585. Next is I made what I'm going to call an intermediary review page. Now, here's the thing you need to pay attention to. LaunchFlows lets you customize a checkout, and everything you want to do is custom from there. But in this video, you can kind of see it. They aren't showing this at the checkout. They're showing it at the cart page. LaunchFlows lets you build your own custom cart page or review using the same components. So that's what I did here. It's not the ultimate checkout page. It's just what looks like a cart review page, but customized to show whatever I want it to show. And that's why LaunchFlows is very powerful. You can daisy chain together the sequence of places a person has taken, and you can mix and match the cart component, the checkout component, the custom buttons into one of those pages. So I created a page. First thing I did is I said I want it to act like a checkout. So I checked the box that said add to checkout. But you'll notice that it's not really my final checkout page, and it's not the place where somebody will be ultimately taken on the products, because those are going to be taken to the real checkout page. In other words, the thing at the end, the real checkout. But on the particular case, what I want to do, or in this particular case, what I want to do is I want to give the components in order to see what was in the cart. So the first thing I did is I used the benefit of the patterns built into LaunchFlows, and I chose LaunchFlows, and I clicked this. And that essentially gave me all the key fields that I needed to have like a checkout in place. But then what I did is I selected that entire block of stuff, and I scrolled down to advanced, and I added LF hide. Essentially, I said, put the checkout pieces in here because I need one of them, but hide all the ones that I don't need. So everything in this column with this is LF hide is hidden from view. The one component I did want to use was the order review, the LF review. So I brought that up and put it in the top of the page where I could style this in a variety of ways, as I'll show you. Next, I used that new component. I used the modal block, the one from the modal Guten block option. And in order to put that in place, you simply go ahead and I'll show you what I did. I said insert before. I just typed modal/modal. And there it is. And then you can basically add to it what you wanted, a title, and you can put content in. Okay. Now what I did, so I don't have to show you twice, is I set this one up as follows. I gave it a title, which was my headline. But wait, get this instead. Then inside of the content area, I added the upsell component or upsell block for LaunchFlows. And to do that, I simply typed /upsell, and I put the block in place. Then that's where I needed the product ID. So this upsell offer was 54585. As you'll see here, I put 54585, and then you need to configure the rest of it for whatever else you want it to do, right? What the button says, what the no thanks says, where it goes if somebody says no thanks, whatever. Now, you can configure the styling of the modal block on the right side. So you can say, show it on button click, this button, or you can even assign it to other things. You can have text or image, a custom class, whatever. But this actually works out pretty good because, like I said, we can simulate the look and feel of an order review with a little styling. Okay, and I was also able to change the button and whether to have different, things about the background and so forth. All right, mechanically, this allows me now to have a modal window triggered by a proceed to checkout button. And I think, what did they call it over here? They just called it checkout now. So if you really wanted to get the exact wording, just change the wording like it is here to say checkout now. Let's take a look at how it works, and then I'll show you in the end how to style it a little further. So just rough and dirty, I've got the original product already in the cart here. And this is all just loosey-goosey spread out. Notice you don't see any of the components other than the order review. If I click the button, watch what happens. Ta-da, modal window, and I'm being presented with whatever the product is that was the ID number, right? My new product. If I click yes, it will add it to cart, take me to the real checkout page, along with whatever things it was added with. I can do this with an order bump as well, just to show you. If I were to edit this page, instead of using the upsell widget, I'm going to use the bump widget. I don't think it makes as much sense, but 54585. But let's just show you what it looks like, because it's just this easy with LaunchFlows. And if we refresh the preview, same idea. Again, you can style it. It's also showing the ASDF stuff that I typed in below, but that's okay. You can style this any way you want, but the whole idea is if in this case they check the checkbox or check the radio button, that'll get added as well. You're good to go. Actually, the reason that ASDF is in there because that's in my description of the product. So you can optionally show or hide the description, but I'll just remove it because it's confusing us a little. Okay, so now you've got a way to show the window. Let's style it slightly differently. Okay, I'm going to go back to the page. Let's use LaunchFlows again. We're going to add a section above. So we'll say insert before, and we're going to use the columns. This is the default columns from Gutenberg, right? Here, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the review order in the left column, and I'll put the modal in the right column. And I could do all kinds of other stuff here if I wanted, including, I could relocate the button because I think this gives me the ability where to put it, center, left, right, above, below. I could make a new button that puts over, whatever you want to do. It makes no difference. But let's see what this looks like just in 2 columns. And you can see now where we got the basis of what's going on. If I wanted to, I could allow somebody even on this page to start adding their content about themselves for billing, because LaunchFlows will save that from one page to the next. So I could, for example, take the billing fields and remove them from the hidden area. And if I wanted, I could put it above this so that they can begin the process of adding in what ultimately they're going to need when they actually really do check out, and so forth. But the point is, what you're doing is essentially giving them what looks like an actual checkout, but it's already connected to an upsell offer or an order bump in a modal window. And depending on where this is set up, it will again add it to the cart and take them to the page. And that particular product will either be added with or will replace, depending on how you've set it up, the thing that's there. Remember, order bump typically adds to the order, upsell replaces. With LaunchFlows, you can set it up very simply just by choosing whether the product is a solo checkout or not. Typically, all the upsell offers using the upsell widget will kick out whatever else is there before. With another product, though, you can choose whether that happens. So with an order bump, typically, it's not a solo checkout because you want it to be added to whatever's there. So this is a quick and easy way to show that LaunchFlows, along with some free plugins, your favorite page builder, hopefully you'll try Gutenberg, is an amazingly simple tool. And best of all the things you set up can be saved, stored, reused. And many of these things will end up into our free patterns library. If you have something you want to suggest or recommend, send it over to me because I can just copy and paste it. These are already many, many great examples of things we're actually using for current clients ourselves, where you can just go to something you like, and if you see how it works, you can actually try it live. You just click the pattern code, paste it into place, and you're good to go. So if you're wondering how you're going to design this page, instead of having to go through all the steps, you can literally go here, new page, and then you paste in what you just copied from our pattern library and change your product ID, and you're good to go. So remember here we had that product was 54585, right? All I got to do is just change the bump order here to 545, and we're good to go. I have another product that's always in, so I could go over and put that main product, which is 54545. I publish, and I've got basically a working model of whatever you just copied in 2 seconds from our pattern library ready for you to use for your business. And the same idea I just showed you can apply, right? This is an example of a working model that we use for our workshop, and somebody has the one product in the cart, they can add the new product here. So simple. This is Spence. I'll see you in the next video.